Hello everyone, I am Josh and welcome to this episode of Let's Build Fallingwater in Minecraft. So this is part 7 and as you can see we are here back in Minecraft and back at Fallingwater. So this episode we're going to be doing some floor plan work, if that makes sense. So we're going to be working on the floor plan, and as you can see here, basically we have kind of a shell of the front two walls. So from here it kind of looks like Fallingwater, but you can see through the windows there's nothing inside. So that's what we're going to try to work on today. So I have a picture of the first floor plan of Fallingwater, and it's surprisingly hard to find any good pictures of it. So what I kind of want to do is lay out the floor plan and not necessarily get the materials or anything right at this part, because it's always easy to go back and change like the flooring or something like that. But really what's going to be harder is to get the shape right and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is right here. Hold on, I'm stuck. Okay, this right here is the first floor, and in the house there's some stairs here that lead down, that cut through here, and they end up here. So the stairs go up here, and this is all water. So this is all part of the river. So I'm going to work on that a bit later because I don't think I have this done correctly. And also here are going to be some stairs that go up. Now, I'm not entirely sure where these stairs go. I'm looking at the floor plan shots here, and I can't tell whether they just go upstairs or go to just some other part of the house on this floor, but I guess we'll figure that out. So anyway, in here, this is the living room. Currently what we're sitting in here, and this is a terrace. And yeah, so that's pretty simple. I mean, obviously you can kind of tell that. I don't know why. Oh, that's the doorway. I was wondering like why there's a hole in the wall, but that's the doorway. So out this way. So the living room is pretty big. So if I'm looking here, this wall, we have doors here, which I have a hole. That's good. And the stairs are here, which the stairs that go down are here, which I obviously haven't done yet. And then there doesn't appear to be a door here, so I guess I could close this up. I don't know. I thought that there would be something there. I'll get some glass later. And then to the next, next to that wait, hold on. You see, here's the problem with the floor plan is I can barely tell what's going on because it's like really small and fuzzy, but there's something happening next to the stairs and I don't know what it is. There's a room that has doors that lead outside, and the doors come out like right before these stairs that go here. I'm not sure what's going on there. That's kind of unfortunate. So apparently we can, I guess, continue this wall out here. So this wall is, with next to the stairs that go there, and I'm not really sure. So I'm looking at this the wrong way. I have to orientate my camera the same way that I'm looking at the floor plans because that usually helps. Oh, okay. So this kind of looks like it goes in like this, just by roughly looking at it, and there's kind of like a room going on here or something. So the stairs are would be too wide, and there's like a room happening here, obviously with doors coming out of it. I'll have to look into that in more detail. So coming along these stairs, I don't really know how tall they are. I guess I could put them in because that would make sense. To this next to those stairs is also something happening. Not entirely sure what. So you come in here, and there's like stairs here. I don't know. Oh god, I'm sorry, but this is like really confusing. I'm just trying to figure this out. Let's get some of this material down here. So there's stairs here, but I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the rest of that. So I'm not sure how long these stairs would extend for, but I would imagine, like if you're gonna do a Minecraft staircase, I would imagine like you would have them like this. Can you even step up to that? You probably can't. You have to jump up to that, which I don't really want to be that way. I kind of want it to be, because like the stairs in real life have like a space in them, so I guess you wouldn't really be able to walk right up them if well, that's a bit like too much. Hold on a second. It's like if I do that, and then it's like you kind of have to jump up to the stair, but I think that could work. Like for visual, I think I don't know how it is really. I'm gonna do it like this for now. So like you kind of, not like that. So like these would be the stairs, and I guess they would have to be long enough so that you could make it up to the top. But I don't think it's exactly this way because I'm fairly certain that this balcony, or this, what they call terrace, the terrace I'm standing on right now is definitely not wide enough. It probably has to expand out. Come on, why can't I jump over that? What the heck? Jump! There we go. Alright, so it definitely has to expand out further because, again, for stairs to fit in there, I don't know. Anyway, I think it's not wide enough, but I haven't even finished these stairs yet. Let's finish these stairs. That's at least something I can say I've done. So I'll continue this wall along. So these stairs obviously will lead up to the next floor, presumably. I don't even know. It's surprisingly hard for such a famous house to have so few floor plan shots. Oh gosh. So this is like coming into this wall. Again, that can't be right, can it? It probably is not right. I would imagine that I did this wrong. So, because I mean, in Minecraft, blocks don't necessarily translate into real life. So that makes a difference. But anyway, I'm gonna move this wall back one because, yeah, there's no way that's gonna work. Oh, what's going on here? That's a bit of a gap there, but I'll fix that later. So move that back so these stairs can actually function. And the floor level here would be, yeah, so it would be at this level. So this is the floor level. So this wall, I feel, is extending out way too far to actually be what it is in real life, because the staircase seems to be really shallow here. But again, the staircases in the real house are pretty shallow, meaning like the steps aren't very steep, so who knows. So anyway, we have to come up further. This seems like it's getting a little out of hand, doesn't it? I feel like this is ridiculous. I don't know if this staircase really should actually be this long, but we'll see. So it would have to be that long, this staircase, for you to be able to walk all the way up here onto what would be this level. So I don't know if this staircase should be steeper or not. Sure hope not, because that would mean I have to redo a lot of stuff. Anyway, right now I'm just looking for some sandstone stairs, if I can find them. Is there even such a thing as sandstone stairs? I feel like there are, but there's nether brick stairs. I mean, if there's nether brick stairs, come on, there have to be sandstone stairs, right? Or am I just out of luck? What even is this? Oh, red sandstone stairs. Okay, so you get red sandstone stairs. There must be sandstone stairs. Where the heck are they? Am I just blind? I'm probably just blind. Where's sandstone? That's probably a good thing. Okay, here's chiseled sandstone, smooth. There's no stairs. Ugh, I know that there are sandstone stairs. There has to be. There's a sandstone slab. I kind of want to use them as an accent. Aha, found them. They're hiding. They're trying to hide from me. Okay. That took way too long. Beautiful. So that way, when you walk up these stairs, you don't hit your head so much on there. It looks like there's a bit of a cutout there. I mean, you still would kind of almost hit your head there, but not as badly. Yeah, so anyway, this has so far been a very productive episode. I've built a set of stairs, so that's thrilling. So yeah, we have some stairs, and we also have another part of the house that doesn't make sense, and I'm sorry for not moving at all. It must be very boring. I can just move around randomly, because the problem here is that it's really hard to tell what's going on with these very basic floor plans that I can find on Google Images. So it's really hard to tell kind of what's happening, but by the looks of things, there's something else. There's like another staircase happening here. I know that this is not right. We can start by changing this. Oops, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let's just change this. Yeah, because I feel like this opening needs to be a lot bigger, and that means that I don't know if this whole top part of the house needs to move over and everything needs to move over, because that would be really annoying. But I feel like that's a possibility I have to take into consideration. So I'm going to move this over, at least start by moving this over, because I think it needs to happen. So we'll bring this over here, and let's get a nice little topping on here. I don't know how much I should move this over by. I think I'm going to try 1. But yeah, we'll give that a go, and remove this in here. So yeah, I think like that much is fine. So we'll move it that much. I don't know, because then this has to come across here. I don't know if that's necessarily correct. Hold on, put this floor back in, because I feel like that stone wall over there, this stone wall here is not flush with that, but I'm not sure what else to do because I feel pretty confident that there's a walkway in here that needs to happen. So yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. So let me just continue this up so we can get to, oh wait, hold on. Wait, now I'm really confused. Now I'm confused even more. I don't like being confused even more. Wait, that's, what? I can't even, this floor plan picture I'm looking at right now doesn't even show that wall there, which is really not convenient. Okay, here, I got a better one that actually shows that wall. It's always helpful. Okay, so the stairs here, wait, what? Okay, now I'm even more I mean, this is apparently the plunge, is this a plunge pool they're talking about down here? Because the house does have a plunge pool, and I put this bit of water down here. So that must be what they're talking about, but it's not much of a pool. It doesn't look anything like, I think, how it should, so that's a bit of a problem, but we can work on that, I guess. Yeah, that's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out the staircase thing going on right now, because the stairs, looks like there's stairs that come here. So it looks like there's stairs that start here that are shorter, and these stairs must start further in. But then the part above would make no sense. So I'm trying to get a picture of the outside of Fallingwater so I can kind of see, at least that part of the house, hopefully. So I can kind of see what's happening, because it's really hard to tell what's happening. This house is probably one of the most complicated pieces of architecture ever. It's insane. Yeah, okay. Whoops, sorry about that. This staircase here, I think, should start here. So I'm going to start it 2 ahead, and hold on. Yeah, I just messed that up. Yeah, I'm going to start it here. So this other staircase, yeah, just decimate all of this. So it's going to start here, and it's going to come up here. So that will fix the problem of it extending like way too far. The only issue is now this whole thing is in the way, and I'm not sure what to do about that. Ooh, it nearly fell off. So that's going to be a bit of a problem, but we'll get to it when it comes down to it. Can't reach. Anyway, let's finish off this staircase here. Continuing up and up. And so now we're level here much quicker. So we come to this second floor earlier, which seems to make more sense, because otherwise the staircase is like way too big. But then you're hitting this, excuse me, you're hitting this wall again, which is unfortunate. I have to figure out what to do with that. So then it appears that, at least from like floor plan pictures, I've been able to tell it looks like there's a second staircase next to it. Although from actual pictures of the house, no one has been thoughtful enough to take a photograph of this part of the house. So it's pretty much impossible to tell what's happening here. And I don't really know what to do. I can't get a picture of it. So yeah, look, you know what? I really can't deal with that right now. I'll have to like do that in some other time outside an episode or something. Why does the sky look so gray when I'm in the house, and then like the second I come out it like brightens up? Who knows? Anyway, you know what? We should just work on the floor plan part of the house. So let's ignore that part. So yeah, the living room extends over here. There's some windows here, which I failed to put in. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't put windows in there. Guess I just didn't feel like it. Yeah, so the windows are weird. I don't really... They're inset. So it looks like, to me, it would come back to here, and then the windows go across. So we kind of have like a balcony of sorts going on, at least as far as I can tell. It also appears that over here is a balcony as well, but I don't think there's one there. Who knows? Anyway, let's get some glass so we can put, or some glass panes, so we can finish that in. I think I used black stained glass for this house. I'm not actually sure. Let's see, is this black stained glass match? No, I just used normal, I didn't use black. Why did I think I used black stained glass? I don't know. I did not use black stained glass, I just used glass. Alright, now we got the correct thing. So, windows here, here, and here, and I don't know if there's really a door. I guess I could just remove some. And what is going on with this? I don't know why there's like an elevator shaft going in here. That's not the way it should be, but for some reason I built it that way. anyway, so yeah, let me just need to get a good look here at the floor plan. And yeah, so there's a fireplace in this nook actually, which I did not know about, but I put the nook there, interestingly enough, so what a coincidence. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fill it in like that, and then I guess there will be a hole there so you can walk out to it. Yeah, so we'll do this, and beautiful, ooh, nearly walked off of that. Gotta be careful there, that's a little shallow, but beautiful view. And you can like walk over here onto this porch, but sure, or terrace as they call it, if you want to be professional. So yeah, here's a fireplace in this general area. There's also a huge stone on the floor. And also, fun fact, the floors in the house are not sandstone. They are like huge stones. Kind of like this wall, but even bigger. So I'm going to have to change this floor out. Anyway, that's besides the point. So this is a fireplace, and it's a curved fireplace, which is fascinating, but I don't think I can do that in Minecraft. So I'm going to do my best here to recreate it to some extent. I'm going to continue the floor along. Now, I'm not sure what's underneath this house, because the house is obviously suspended very far in the air, and I'm not entirely sure what's underneath it. If I can't even find pictures of like the staircase, let alone I'm going to find pictures of what's under the house. Also, a fun fact is I didn't even know this about Fallingwater, but there's a guest house that's kind of like off in the mountain or like the hillside right next to Fallingwater. It's kind of like a servants' quarters guest house thing that is like connected to it by a bridge, which is kind of cool. I don't know if I'm going to build that in this because, you know, that's obviously a lot more work, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, I'm just going to fill this weird notch in because I don't know why it's there. Anyway, so this is the fireplace. Say it's our, you know, can just say it's our fireplace. And, you know, beautiful, beautiful fireplace. That needs a bit more work, obviously, but it's a fireplace. So the kitchen is then next to the fireplace. And what is in here? So this is the glass. So, oh wow, that worked out perfectly. I was about to like say, I hope I don't destroy the glass here, but we can like decimate part of this wall. And this here, so right next to the fireplace, and this walks into the kitchen, which has the glass wall. So it has the wall of glass, and there's some doors there. So let's whip out our sandstone and continue along here. So can I just, I flew up way too high there. All right, continue this along. So beautiful. And yeah, Fallingwater, like the living room in this house basically is the whole first floor. It's just like colossal living room. But you know, I guess that's not too bad. So I guess the dining room is technically part of the living room because there's no like room that is just a dining room. It just, I feel like it's living and dining is like in one room. Anyway, so there's two doors. I don't think I'm going to put doors in, but anyway, there's this pillar here that comes up, and I might continue the ceiling along so we can have a nice ceiling. You know, it's always good to have a ceiling. It also helps make it feel a little bit more like a house. So yeah, so this pillar here is just there, or it's like part of the wall, I guess, with doors in it. And I'm just gonna continue that along. And yeah, I nearly made it onto that floor, but of course I didn't. All right, so this is the kitchen. Right now it's just a giant gaping hole that hopefully will be corrected. That's a hole. Yep, don't do that. All right, so the kitchen, again, I'm not sure what the kitchen flooring is. That's easily changed, I'm sure. But I'm not even sure what's below the kitchen, because obviously there's a room below it. I'm not even sure if the kitchen's on this level or if it's a few steps down. Judging by the floor plan, it doesn't look like it's any lower. There's another part of the house that's somewhere. I don't really know where. It's like off the kitchen corner. There's like some staircase that goes somewhere. I don't know where that goes. I'll have to get more detailed pictures, but for now, at least we can put some flooring in, so that usually helps. Now let's see how horrible that looks from outside. Does that look terrible? It looks okay. I mean, in the real house, I never noticed where the floor was, like on this window. I don't really know. That's interesting, but You have to have something for the floor, I guess. I guess I could use slabs and make it a little bit less noticeable, but that can be changed. For now, you know, we just have this, and it actually looks pretty cool. Now, presumably, it's the same story to get something up here. I'm not sure. Ooh, that's not right. I'm not sure if there's a higher ceiling in the kitchen or something, or if this is really a floor. I'm not really sure, because I'm looking only at the first floor plan shots, which is actually, what's interesting is it's easier to find the floor plans for the second and third floors than it is for the first floor. Don't know why, but anyway, yeah, because then that would be the second floor there, and then the third floor would have its own floor at this level. Yeah, so I guess the house technically has 4 floors, so that's a pretty big house. Yeah, anyway, so we have this here, which I'll continue along, and then here's the other end of the wall, and it looks like say this is 1 block, I would say this is 3 here in length, so we'll just continue this along by 3 and make it that high. Lovely. And the edge of the house, I would say, is probably, hold on, let's just jump down a sec. Whoop, that's the wrong material. Probably ends it's like halfway through this wall, but I don't know. Okay, like it's I might have to make this 4, so I think I'll do that. Make this come out 4, and then the wall is there. So this is the edge of the first floor. So that's pretty exciting. And then this floor extends a bit, and then it goes like in a couple for some reason, and from there on it's just a confusing mess. The entrance to the house is around here, so that's a thing. Anyway, look at this. This is beautiful. So this is the living room. This is the fireplace, and they have like wraparound couches and stuff, and you know, eventually it'll look a bit more finished off. Obviously, right now it's just a big empty room, and also the ceiling is driving me nuts because like there's this white like all in the ceiling. What even is that? Is that the flooring in the second floor? Is like I made it white? Oh, that's this flooring. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with figure something out with that flooring material so the ceiling is not quite so hideous. Yeah, we'll figure something out for that. Anyway, the kitchen, I think, so this is pretty accurate. You come in here, this wall that I have here curves around, or not really curves, but I mean it angles around, and like basically comes all the way out over this far. I would dare say even one more, maybe. No, not one more. So this is the kitchen, kind of given a rough idea here, so I'll finish the flooring in so you can actually stand in the kitchen. And yeah, that's always good. It's always good when you can stand on the floor in your kitchen. It's not just a giant hole. Anyway, let's fill this in. So yeah, I know this episode hasn't been very exciting. I mean, it's basically just been filling things in. But I mean, like if you look at this part of the house now compared to before, I mean, it's actually like rooms forming, which is kind of exciting. So this is the kitchen. Obviously there should be a ceiling at some point and, you know, more walls filled in, but, you know, this is the rough idea of the kitchen, and there's going to be some counters and cabinets on this wall over here, and yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Anyway, it has been, I think, over 20 minutes, so I might leave this episode here, I think, and before I begin the next episode, or actually, know what, yeah, there's something really confusing going on, like with the wall. I don't really know what's happening. Like, there's a balcony here, but anyway, like as I was saying, before I start the next episode, I think I'm going to more thoroughly study this house and like the floor plan and everything, so I can kind of get an idea of what I need to do, because this is a very complicated house, and especially with these stairs over here, it's like really weird. And I'm not entirely sure, because obviously I had to cut a hole in this wall, and you know, I'm not entirely sure what to do, so yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, even though it wasn't too thrilling, but it was kind of essential. I mean, you need to get the floor and ceiling in and kind of get some of the room started. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider checking out my channel and subscribing if you like what you see. And yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone!